Hi there, this is Father Joshua Wagner from StumpThePriest.com, coming to you live from one of my two parishes, Holy Rosary St. John in Columbus, Ohio. And I thought I would do a little video series on the Blessed Mother, since we are coming up on the month of May as I record this, and I thought I would do a three-part series. The first part of this series, I just thought I would give one of my analogies about why the Blessed Mother is so important. I get a lot of questions from especially non-Catholics, but Catholics and non-Catholics alike, about why the Blessed Mother is so very important. Well, I have a little analogy that I think would be helpful. A few years ago, when I was the associate pastor of a parish here in Columbus called St. Bridget of Kildare, I gave a women's retreat in the middle of January of my first year as a priest. In fact, I did it every January that I was there. And it was a big group, 40 to 60 women, and it was a three-day thing. You know, we'd start at night on Friday and give a conference then, and several conferences on Saturday, and a closing conference on Sunday morning. And it was a great experience, and it was a very intense experience. You know, giving retreats can be a very tiring experience. And so in the schedule, they had a little bit of social time built in. And so during that social time, I figured that I would take a little bit of a break, a little bit of a breather, let them have their time, and I would go to the local mall or something and just kind of be quiet for a little while. But I thought it would be kind of fun for the ladies if I invited my mother. And so I invited my mother, Josephine, and I made it kind of a surprise for them, and she walked in, and I told them who she was. Now, what was kind of cool is that all of a sudden, they all kind of walked past me, who they'd seen all day, and they just crowded around my mom. And they talked to her, and they told her how great her son was. I don't know about that. But she talked about, they talked to her about, how wonderful it is to meet her, and how nice it is to have her there. And, they weren't talking to me the entire time, which I was okay with. But you know what? Think about it. When they were honoring her, my mother, the mother of the priest, and she was only honored that way because she was my mother. She wasn't just any other woman that was in that room. She was the mother of the priest. Imagine what would have happened if she had walked in and they started to ignore her. And just said, oh, well, that's nice that you're the mother of the priest. But they didn't do that. Or what would have happened if, even worse, they started to insult her? Of course, that would have been an insult to me. To ignore her, to insult her, to not treat her with respect meant that they didn't treat me with respect as well. And so it's the same thing with the Blessed Mother. There are those of people out there who would ignore the Blessed Mother. There are some out there that treat her badly, that say that she wasn't that important, to ignore her. There's some that don't honor her, and then there are some that do. There's some that honor her, and we have the saints like St. Louis Marie de Montfort that says that the altars of Mary and the altars of the Eucharist are not in competition with each other. And that's what I think that this first part is just a real brief sort of analogy, that when we treat the Blessed Mother with respect, when we give her honor, we're really honoring her son. And we're only honoring her because she is the mother of God. It's a special relationship. She is, in fact, the mother of the priest, the high priest, Jesus Christ, who has sacrificed himself on the cross, who rose from the dead for us. And that's why we honor Mary. It's not because she's God. We certainly don't believe that. But boy, she's the mother of God. She's the mother of Jesus. And to honor her is simply to honor him. And I can tell you that that night that they honored my mother, just for being there, just for being the mother of the priest, just for being the mother of a sinful priest, I know that I felt completely honored myself. And just because they were giving attention to her didn't mean they weren't giving it to me. In fact, they were honoring me more by honoring her. So remember that in this month of May. Don't forget also, I have many websites. I have fatherwagner.com, FRWAGNER.com, and stumpthepriest.com, where I have some other things. I haven't many things to offer you on those websites, so please tell your friends. I'm also on Twitter and Facebook and all these other different things that are very popular these days. So find me on there, and I hope you have a very blessed day. And part 2 and 3 will be following shortly.